everyone, this is Shannon, and today I'm going to walk you through some of the basic functions of the 3000 Teachers platform. So the very first thing that I did was I went to 3000teachers.com and I am going to log in. So I clicked on where it says, as a returning user, log in. So here I've entered in my information. I'll click on sign in. And this is the very first page you'll see. Today we're just going to go over how to navigate through the lessons. Some of this additional items you see here on the top banner, including reports, learning, and tutoring, as well as the profile and learning path, we will cover in future, more in-depth tutorials. But for now, we're going to start by how you can actually go through the lessons. Notice here it says Module 1, Leading the Classroom. That's the very, very first module. Think of a module as a unit. So every module or unit has 10 lessons. The lessons include written text, videos, and assessments. And in the future, as more modules become available, you'll see them here on this screen. So Module 1 here, Module 2, Module 3, so on and so on. But for now, the first thing I'll do is I will click on Module 1, which will bring me to this page. So you see here on the right side, we'll have all the different lessons that are inside the module. There's, like I said, 10 lessons. The first one is establishing your presence in the classroom. You want to go through these lessons in order. Here we see the progress through the lesson. It's 24% completed. The estimated total time of this lesson is 2 hours and 45 minutes. And in the future, based on your feedback and based on as we create more supplemental materials, we will be adding them directly into the lesson. So this number will continue to grow. So the very first thing I'm going to do is go through the very first lesson. So I'm going to click here. And these are all the different parts of the lesson. And again, you want to go through these in order. Very quickly, notice the little circles next to all of these things. The circle, depending on how full it is, will tell you how far you've progressed through that particular part. So for example, I've gone completely through video 1, but I haven't done a whole lot with theory of multiple intelligences. And this is a good way that if you have to stop working on the lesson and want to come back to it, you can at a glance see where you left off. You can also continue with the very last thing you were watching right here. So since I'm going to do this in order, I'm going to start with the first one. The lessons usually start off with a written text. So the written text includes objectives, meaningful questions, and vocabulary. The platform, in order to measure your progress, needs you to actually read through nice and slow, because if you just scroll to the bottom like this, it's not going to record any progress because it knows that you're just scrolling to the bottom. Sometimes the lessons include these boxes in blue. What we've done here is we've defined or given some information about an idiom or a term that we use that you might not be familiar with. And sometimes this helps us explain some complex concepts in a little bit easier to access way. As you're reading through the lesson, it's a good idea to take notes. You can either take notes using a pen and paper on, keeping a notepad next to you, or you can take notes in the platform by clicking on this button here. Once I click here, my notes pops up, so I can say, oh, remember that it's taken place under a tree, so I can say, good learning can be done anywhere. And then I record that. And it will keep track of all your notes. You can delete some if you want, and you can keep these, and it will keep track of when it was recorded. Again, here it'll show you your lesson progress. If I particularly like this lesson, I can give it 5 stars. If I thought it was okay, I could give it 3 stars. And if I hated it and I want the EGAP team to revisit it and take a look and fix it, I can give it 1 star. And our team will keep an eye on these things. Once you've gotten finished reading the lesson, I'm going to come down to the bottom here, and I can navigate directly to the next part of the lesson from here. So, for example, here we finished reading Philosophy of Teaching. The next piece is to go to video 1. So I'll click on that. And here you see the video will pop up in the browser. So you want to click play and watch that. If you have any issues getting it to load in the platform, there's a number of different things we can do. Send us a note first thing. and we can either send you a DVD with the videos on it and some of the written text if the platform isn't working for you at all. We can connect you with one of our partners in your country. We can also send you to our YouTube page if you want to try loading it from there, because all of the videos will be available on YouTube, on our home website at educationgap.com, and that's also along with the written text. So you don't need the platform. We think it's a great way for you to keep all of your progress in one place and for you to be able to do the interactive tests and assessments, which we'll get to in a minute. So after I've watched video 1, I'll move on to the next part, which is Theory of Multiple Intelligences. Again, these are all different parts of the same lesson of establishing your presence in the classroom. So again, scroll down, read through this, take lots of notes, and we'll move on to the next part, video 2. The videos are important for you to watch because they'll either look at some of the complex topics in a new way, they'll help explain them. If you are an auditory learner more than a visual learner, then this will definitely be helpful for you because it'll help you really learn the material in a more concrete way. And sometimes if we're looking at a very, very complex topic, the written text will go into some of the theory behind a learning or a teaching strategy, and the video will give you very concrete ways you can work with this strategy in your classroom, with your students, and in your context. So again, make sure you watch the videos. They are going to help you tremendously. So after I've watched this video, what I'm going to do is click on Assessment. Every lesson comes with a 10-question assessment, and you can think of this like a quiz. So here it's multiple choice. Only fill in one of these per question. I'm going to go ahead and fill in all of these, just randomly, which means I'm probably not going to get a very good grade. And then once I've finished that, I can automatically submit my answers. And if I've gotten something correct or wrong, it will explain why. So again, these are a good way for us to track on our side, because this is a certificate course, a good way to make sure that you are actually moving through all the different pieces and you are learning from the course. But it's also a good way for you to look at the types of things that you might have missed and maybe want to go back and read again. After you've done the assessment, take a look at your score. I did not do very well at all. If you get a low score and you want to improve it, which we recommend you do, you can take this assessment as many times as you want. So if it takes you 10 times to get 100%, that's fine. Just make sure you don't do it back to back, because we want to make sure, again, that you're learning this and not just memorizing long enough to take the test. So wait a couple of days after you've taken this assessment to take it again and try to improve your score. And again, definitely go back and revisit the written material and the videos if you want to improve your score. So once I've finished the assessment, I can click on Supplemental Materials, which is the next part. Some lessons will have supplemental materials, some will not. This one does. It has a personality and a learning styles test that you can take. This is not required, but it is highly, highly recommended. And then the final thing besides the references is the Practitioner's Corner. And here we provide more open-ended questions for you to work through. And that at the end of the course, once you've finished all of these and filled all of these out, you will have a fantastic portfolio to take with you to any prospective job, to any prospective certification course that shows what you have actually done through this course. So for example, here you will write a philosophy of teaching. And you can either type that in here, if I can spell correctly, or if you wanted to handwrite it or put it in Microsoft Word, you'll choose File and upload it that way. And as you type this in, because it's an open-ended question, there's no right or wrong answer, but somebody from the eGap team will review it within a couple of weeks of its submission and write back with some notes and maybe some guidance to help you move forward. You click on Send Answers to Submit, like in all of the platform, and then I'm going to move on to the very last part of this lesson, which is the references. A lot of what we've done is based in some very famous learning theories. It's all rooted in the kinds of things that you will learn in a university level course. We've just taken those ideas and broken them down for folks who might not be at the university level or who want to look at these things in different ways and figure out concrete ways they can use them in their classrooms. So take a look here. If you want to learn more about what you've read in the lesson, here are some great resources for you to start off with. And a lot of these things you can find on Google Books or at your local library. So now I have finished navigating through Lesson 1. I am going to want to continue on with Lesson 2. So I have two different ways of doing that. Right now I'm on the Works Cited page, which is part of establishing your presence in the classroom, which is part of leading the classroom. So you see here, it starts from very broad to narrowing into our specific page. I'm just going to go up 2 levels back to leading the classroom, which will put me back on the lesson page. The other way you could do that is to click here at quepa.com, and that will take you back to the module page, and then you can just navigate back this way. And there we are. We recommend that people who are engaging with some of these concepts for the first time do no more than 2 lessons per week. That's all the videos, all the assessments, all the written materials. If you find that's too easy, you can go faster. If you find it's too difficult or you're not retaining the information, definitely go slower. It's designed to be self-paced unless you're working through this with a group. If you are an administrator of the program, meaning that you are responsible for leading a group of teachers who are going through this course, there is a different account that you'll want to look at through a different tutorial that'll teach you how to do things like upload your own tests, upload your own videos, how to get monitoring and evaluation, and look at grading scores and amount of time between when your teachers log into the platform. So take a look at the administrator tutorial in order to learn how to do that. And if you are interested in becoming an administrator and you're not currently one, send us a note and we will talk about how to get you set up on that kind of account. So again, if you want to learn more about these more complex functions, including reporting on how you're progressing, let us know, and we can hook you up with the next tutorial in the series. So happy learning, and as always, let us know if we can help you in any way.